Alright everyone, welcome to the very first of season, what we're on 32, ETF2L, not officially sponsored by Faint Gaming, but they contributed a good amount of sum to the prize pool, so we thank them, and they're going to be a pseudo title sponsor. We are here to watch a two titan, maybe a couple of titans for this team, like for this season, I'm not sure. I've got Eemes with me, and then there's also gemm who's going to be missing your frags tonight. How are you doing, Eemes?
I'm pretty good, yeah. Excited for the first game of the season. Should be a good one.
Nice. So these two teams are quite confusing for me because one of them's called SWIFT, and that's not the SWIFT from last season. It's a different SWIFT. And Faint are now called SWIFT, are now called Faint. And yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah. So Faint Gaming with featuring what, maybe 3-4 players from last season's SWIFT have renamed to Faint. They've picked up a couple of players, and SWIFT are now the other team. So why don't you give us a breakdown?
Sure. There's actually 5 players from last season's SWIFT are on Faint, which are Smear, Rising, Polygon, Ixie, and Ombrak. Smear playing Demo, Rising playing Roma, Polygon Pocket, Ixie Flank Scout, and Ombrak Medic. And they've picked up Koff from previously from Faint Gaming on Pocket Scout to complete their roster, Alba having left. And then we have, on the other side, the new SWIFT team, which is Scruff on, I think, Pocket Scout, Mr. Epic, Mon on Flank Scout, Gink on Roma, Pappy on Pocket, Lucas on Demo, and Seeds on Medic.
All right, give me some deets. Who's the stronger team out of the two? If you were to slap them on a piece of paper,
I'd definitely say the DM-wise, SWIFT have it. They have a lot of aggressive, good DM players, that kind of thing. Particularly Lucas probably definitely has the DM advantage over Smear. But in general, the strength of this formerly SWIFT team, Faint, has been they have a lot of very coordinated plays, and they have nice sack plays that they're just very coordinated. They don't really win scrappy DM fights that well, but they have a high amount of. They try not to get into any situations which do not favor them. Whereas SWIFT probably play a bit more chaotic, but they probably have better DM overall. So it's going to be quite an interesting matchup.
All right. Do you not think, is there anything that sort of puts one team ahead on the other majorly? Like anything that one team has over the other? Do you think maybe Faint could be the favourites due to 5 members of their team sort of being together from last season? And
yeah, I think that's a huge advantage for them. And I would say, probably towards the end of the season, I would say that SWIFT will have a fairly definite advantage over them if they continue to increase their coordination. But at the moment, simply the fact that they all really, and Smear really, he main calls in a very controlled way, and they will have quite a strong idea of exactly what they're supposed to do at all points. That probably will. It might favour Faint, although my prediction for this match is probably going to be a 3-3, to be honest.
All right. Everybody in chat, there is a vote going on a poll. So if you put a pizza roll in chat for Faint Gaming or a Mercy Wing 2 for SWIFT. If you don't, then you are the reason why Brexit happened and Donald Trump became president. So sort your shit out and vote for once, please. I'm going to be slapping a Mercy Wing 2 in chat. So, do I have autocomplete emotes? I do. Bam. All done. So I've casted my vote. If you, Eemes?
I haven't actually.
Gemm? Yeah, I'm going to scroll up and check here. I don't see your name anywhere, mister. Well, I don't see it. No, your name's not there. I think you should cast your vote again. It was a failed vote. The polling machine got hacked by Russia. So anyway, I think we're all everybody's on the server. Now, another thing that I didn't mention is the maps. Do you think the maps favour sort of any one of these teams? It's going to be Snakewater first and Sunshine following straight after.
I think probably Sunshine may favour SWIFT because, well, I know it's hard to say, they're both fairly similar maps, but Sunshine probably is the more DM heavy map. You really need. I feel like Lucas is going to have the better of Smear in quite a few situations on Sunshine, where there's basically just a 6v6 fight and the demos just 1v1 each other, and whoever wins will win the fight. And I feel like Lucas is going to do pretty well there. But I think the coordination of Faint, hopefully, well, if my predictions are correct, will win do wonders for them on Snake.
Alright, so Pappy is sitting on a fat 600 ping as my Alexa's going to go off in the background to remind me that I'm not connected to the internet. I do apologise for this interruption, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't normally happen. She normally just plays Despacito, but I haven't connected her back up. Anyway, so whilst we'll wait for one of these players to stop lagging out, going into the remainder of the season, because I believe we have a bit of time as I watch his ping maybe flutter down a bit. What do you think the season's going to end up like with some of these reshuffles? Is it going to be the same as last season with the 7 Ascent 1-2?
I think it's at the moment in particular it's really interesting. We've seen, I mean, 7 have been losing or getting drawn to, or in a lot of scrims against not only Swift but also I think Ascent have beaten them once or twice, and I think Feint have probably. I think even Feint, and I think maybe even once the Furious have beaten 7. So 7 are looking a little bit shaky at the moment. Maybe like Kata's not so used to playing, having taken that quite long hiatus, and also Ascent having switched their demo twice at the start of the season, so from Ali and then to Dr. Phil.
Yeah, what happened? When you going to be considered? When you were sort of like a shoe-in? I heard there was a bit of like slight drama where Swift wanted you to join straight away, and you kind of didn't want to do that, and you wanted to like trial.
Well, yes, Ascent were doing trials in January, and Swift wanted to. Swift were making their team in December, and I said I would wait until January to just see what happened with my Ascent trial, and but in the end, I'm not playing the season anyway because, well, I think I'm just gonna cast and think about Copenhagen a little bit, but mostly try and study a bit more. So
is that because you got outpicked by 2 other Derman?
Not exactly. I probably
come on. You can let it all out here. This is you can put your feelings on the desk.
I guess I would have played if I had been picked up for Ascent, but I know. I think it's not as bad as it could have been. It
could have been playing for Swift.
That's true, yeah.
Anyway, so I believe we're going to be going live pretty shortly. Give me your final predictions with an exact scoreline on both maps as well.
Okay.
I'm going to write this down as well.
Let me say. See, it's hard to tell. I'm going to go for a quite close. I'm going to go for 4-2 to Feint on Snake, and I'm going to go for 3. No, I'm going to go for 5-1 to Swift on Sunshine. So quite a reversal on Sunshine. I think Feint are going to like choke the game out on Snake, and Swift are going to get frustrated. That's my prediction. All
right, I've written those predictions down, so you can't go back on that. I'm not going to predict because I'm a massive pussy. So I'm taking the role of the unknowledgeable play-by-play caster. You're the expert here, so I'm gonna I'm gonna make a prediction. It's gonna be the same as yours. So if I'm wrong, it's not my fault.
Nice.
Anyway, so this is gonna be the first regular game of the season. Well, actually, there's another one happening at the same time, isn't there? So not 100% correct, but it's going to be Swift versus Feint. Feint being the ex-Swift, and I guess Swift having some of the ex-Feint gamers. So it's going to make our way to the first bid on Sunshine. We're going to have, Smear's going to be making his way over to mid pretty fast. Lucas has already taken a bit of pipe damage. Both soldiers are sort of gearing up to jump on both sides. Ryzen's going to be sitting in the kitchen. It's going to be Pappy that's going to be taking up the top control. Polygon's going to go in for a big bomb, trying to jump in on C. Does actually get the frag as well. Gets teamed up by Scruff on the back line. Ryzen's just sitting in the kitchen soon. I don't know if he's making an omelette or what, but whilst he was just sitting there doing nothing, maybe just preheating the oven, his team got kind of pushed out with the mid fight. They do have the Uber advantage as Siege did get taken down almost immediately.
Yeah, so it was a really pretty clean bomb from Polygon, actually getting him from the kitchen side. Pretty much uncontested and getting a couple of rockets under Siege to take him down, or maybe even 3. So it's a nice advantage for Feint coming in here, very sensibly backing out, knowing they couldn't take the fight with 2 fragging classes down versus 5 against Swift. And they will be able to take this. Lucas gets a pretty nice Siege drop on the Spear, and he will actually go down. It's going to be a force as well, probably, onto Umbrax. So that's really... But Siege has gone down to Rising, so that's pretty insane.
Yeah, decent trade here. So they're going to get back into mid, even though they've had to pop the Uber. As I said, Siege does die, so they're going to get a an advantage, not as fat as the one that they had before, but it's going to be maybe about, what, a 40% add, I would say. Maybe, depending if anybody's meeting up with Seeds, and if nobody is meeting up with Seeds, he's going to be very upset. No, he's obviously spawns with Ging, so it's a 30% add is faintly making their way waddling onto second. There isn't any off classes apart from an engineer from Scruff on the Swift side, and Faint just going for the whole standard stuff. Obviously, you have a couple of snipers, which I didn't mention before the game. They have both Ixie and Koff, who are probably some mean headshot boys, so they definitely have that to work with. But with this ad, they're probably just going to go for maybe... Well, actually, this is a bit of a poo-poo hold, and they're going to go for... It's going to be Polygon. He's going to go for a pencil jump. There is a sniper now from Mr. Epic. He's just going to be sitting in the spawn. Does hit a headshot onto Rising. So it's going to slow him down. They're going to be making their way over the right side. It's going to be Smear and Croft are going to be leading forward. The Pootis does come out, and the Uber has been popped. It's going to be Croft who wants to try and go forward, but they did get Uber in time on the side of Swift. So both Ubers have been traded. It's going to be Fainter looking like trying to get out through lower. Pappy does pick up Koff as well. So an Uber ad push seemed to have not... Took a little bit too long.
Yeah, Faint kind of seemed to be in two minds there. They looked like they wanted to play off the Uber ad. They did have a sort of 40 ad, but they took so long just waddling around, they didn't really do anything. Pappy's actually going to be walking in here really aggressively. Looks like Swift really want to try and make a push happen. And Smear is actually pretty weak, and have to back up. And Swift have actually busted in here pretty well, but Mr. Epic will lose a 1v1 to Ixie. Lucas is alone, so they're just going to have to leave. This could actually cue a pretty nice push for Faint if they want to get in here quickly.
Yeah, luckily Seeds does meet up with his boys. He was a little bit alone in lobby for a couple of seconds, but they're going to be going for a non-Uber push on the right side. Mr. Epic is spawning. He's going to go for scouts. He's not going to swap out to snipers to get any domes on the way there, but there's going to be a point play almost straight away by Koff. Going to have to be Mr. Epic that's trying to get onto it. Scruff does fall onto it as well, so they've got some games on the point. Rising beats the air shot, but does get the frag onto Lucas anyway. Ombrak is going to be on 95%. He has hightailed his way out of there. I believe he is safe. Mr. Epic is in pursuit, but he's not going to be successful. Siege has probably died. This is probably the highest death count in 5 minutes that he's ever had.
It's a really interesting contrasting of styles here, because essentially what all Faint are doing at the moment is they're getting a little bit of space, and they're sacking 1 or 2 of their soldiers onto Seeds, killing him, and then backing up all the way, like kind of playing really, really passive with both their scouts, and then just waiting for the Uber advantage to come into effect. And so that really... I mean, you know what Swift want to do is just take a scrappy DM fight, but Faint are not allowing them to do that. They're playing very, very controlled, and having done that, Ombrak has lived in this fight, and they've got a huge Uber advantage. They're actually going to come in lower with Smith. He's doing a huge bomb onto Lucas. Lucas will go down. This could really be an easy push for them now. Kuno is on point. He's going to get a lot of cap time. All the players are on right side, and they're going to actually play on the point, and they've got it. So that's a really, really nice, just clinical play from Faint.
Yeah, and the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes or so, it does look like Swift are a bit shaky. There's been quite a few occasions where, as I said, Seeds has died too many times. This is a shocking performance by his pug standards. You know, he wouldn't be happy with this. I'm expecting a few sighs and mumble.
Exactly. I mean, Faint is just really outplaying them here. Yeah. Sorry,
so
carry on.
Second mid, both demo men making their way. It's going to be Smear. It's going to be focusing the top right at the start, trying to sort of thwart any immediate aggression. Polygon's got pretty much a clear sort of angle up there. Does get knocked down to a little bit half health, so he's gonna have to back out. Ixie and Rising down by Kitchen do sort of double up to try and take out Gink. Mr. Epic goes in, does get splashed with a rocket. It's taken out by Koff straight away as well. And Rising is gonna go in. Seeds is only 60 HP, just Scruff left alive, and Seeds is gonna try and get out of there. And I do not think he's gonna survive.
No, surely not.
He is being chased down. It's going to be Rising is going to go from the top. Seeds at the bottom, but the boys have arrived, but it's just going to be Gink. Gink does get taken out, and they do get Seeds as well. So I guess maybe the saving grace for Swift is that mid isn't capped, so they're going to give themselves a little bit more time, as it was quite a bit of a committal push by Faint. But
again, we see this clinical, really slow and methodical play from Faint. It's just grinding out the fight. Gink played a little bit too aggressive towards Kitchen, and Rising wins a 1v1 with him by having high ground. And then they just play back. They play position really, really just methodically, as I said, and just grinding out the fight, getting the 1 pick, getting the 2nd pick, and then finally chasing all the way, getting Seeds. It's just, Swift are just not able to do any of the aggressive kind of plays as they want to, because they're just getting pulled apart 1 by 1.
Yeah, and another last hold for Swift again, and it looks like they haven't got any off classes. Well, they do have a sniper and an engineers. Having said that, so the sentry gets taken out almost immediately. Scruff has gone Pootis again. There's going to be a little bit of point play, but there are stickers on it. The Uber has been popped, but all they've been able to do was get onto the right side. Ombrak to catch a lot of spam. 9 HP does actually be able to get out there by the skin of his teeth. They are congregating in the lobby. So again, it's another 6v6 last push. Completely beefed. And Pappy with the question mark in chat. I do not know how Feint can recover.
I know that's some quality BM there from Pappy. As Swifty look to come out here, probably walking through lower with their Uber actually, which is an interesting play. But pretty gone. There's no actual pressure from it from Feint, so they're actually going to get in more or less for free. And they're actually going to go really deep with this, but Seeds has dropped to Rising.
That was a good sink bomb from him. He just goes straight down into Africa and just lands a nuke on his face. Ombrak is out there as well. It's going to be 2 scouts alive as well with Ombrak, so he's going to be feeling pretty confident. Mr. Epic is trying to pressure a little bit, but that's like what, 5 deaths and a drop.
I know, this is. I mean, Seeds is the kind of medic that anytime he ever dies,
he's got 13 points. He's equal with another scout on his team. This is
crazy.
Absurd.
You tend to see Seeds on 100 points or more. He's way outscoring the other medic.
He should be on 90 by now. This is
exactly
unheard of.
This could easily be the start of a tilt for Swift. As Feint are walking in here on the left, there's a lot of damage from Pappy onto them, so that Uber's going to be popped off, but they are going pretty deep here. They're going to get some nice cap time, but Lucas actually got a kill on them. They're just going to have to leave. Far too much damage from Swift onto them there, really.
Another 6v6 last push, once again beefed by Feint. They're not going to be feeling too bad by it, but as they are currently in the lead, but you never know, in 10 minutes or now, that might be sort of be ruining that. There's a couple of failed last pushes. I think that's 3 6v6 last pushes that they've failed right now. The first one they, I think, just had a 2-player advantage and it worked in that, so they need to come up with something different as, Gink goes for a big bomb, tries to get onto Ombrak, but he does do a good job of pulling out the remaining Feint gamers, so they're going to be without a soldier and a demo man. And this could be a straight to last, possibly, from Swift. Even though there is an Uber ad from Feint, they are missing 2, so it's going to be seeing if they fancy going out on this. It does look like Puff is doing the please Uber me medic kind of thing, spamming the Z button. They are going to start going forward, and there's 2 frags from Scruff already. Oh my goodness, this is a complete and utter turnaround. Ombrak still has Uber. Ixie's on 11 HP. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Is this... Ombrak is, this is what I do in pugs. I drop everyone but the pocket scout because it's normally Koff or Tiger that's yelling at me to stay with him all the time and I get nervous.
Ombrak is going to get forced. So this is just really, I mean, Feint just playing extremely messily. Smear has died twice in like 5 minutes, in about 1 minute where he really shouldn't have died. And that means that when they could have actually had something out that Uber, Smear dying on mid, and then immediately when he respawned on that grass area meant that they got absolutely nothing with their Uber advantage, and actually it's a really sizable advantage for Feint, going to be coming in here probably right side, and I'm expecting their last pushes to go a bit better because they have better DM.
Yep, so Scruff is going to get launched up in the air by the sentry gun standing tall. It does remain, and it's actually similar to Feint's last Uber push, where they only are able to get a little bit of ground with the initial push, but the scouts are teasing the point straight away. Koff is going to, but he walks off it! Oh my days. You can't be doing that. You've got to plant both feet firmly on the floor, and he sits on it, he blocks it, and he smelt the frag, he smelt the blood, he walks off it, and it was capped.
Yeah, so those failed last pushes really coming back to bite Feint, as we said. You know, they're able to do they're very good at the moment at killing Seeds, but they're not able to capitalize on it because they really need to. If you want to win a last foot push, you kind of have to win a few DM fights along the way during that push, and they're not really doing that. Whereas we do see this third mid happening.
Yeah, so both Sollies, it's going to be packing, it's going to go in aggressive, but Ombrak doesn't surf the rocket, just stands there like a stone, and he does get taken out. It's going to be Rising, it's going to be jumping up top as well, trying to take any space for his team. There is like a 1-player advantage for Feint, so they could work with somebody, but they are all solo. Mr. Epic does take out Polygon, Ixie as well. Smear is taking out Mr. Epic, and it's going to be the combo, but Rising beefs the second rocket on Siege. It does connect with the first one, but it's not enough, and it is just going to be Koff remaining. Ombrak is at spawn. He's going to... Oh, they've gone the wrong way. Oh.
It's looking a little bit sketchy for Swift there. After they kind of look like they overstayed their welcome, but Mon just gets 2 kills really quickly with some nice meat shots. So they were able to really easily clean up those players after Pappy got the nice bomb onto Ombrak. And you see already, so when Polygon got the kill onto Seeds on mid, Feint literally just ran all the way out because they kind of fear the aggression of Swift. Whereas this time, with Pappy doing the reverse onto Ombrak, Feint just stayed in because their scouts are so confident in their ability to just out DM the Feint players that they just stay there and clean them all up.
It's going to be it's 15 ad. I'm not sure if Swift are going to use it, but they are in for the left side. The sentry does get taken out first off, and it's going to be Ombrak. It's going to be sitting on 93%. But again, this point play starting to, start really taking a hold. But the Uber is finally popped from Ombrak. They do get 2 quick frags that make that 3 as Scruff did die near the start of that. So it's going to be 3 gamers down. Seeds is alone on the second point. This is something he's definitely missing Koff right now. Smear does jump in, isn't able to connect any damage on either players, which is a bit of a zoinks, but fair enough. They do push out of last and they do take second, and the advantage. Oh, hello, it's a repush, as it does look like Pappy wants to go straight in, and they have successfully bullied them out. Rising's going to go in. He's on very low HP, but Seeds fortunately enough to just be sitting on 60 HP. It's not enough aggression, and it looks like, no, sorry, that was Polygon that went in. It doesn't look like Rising was anywhere in position to fall up on that damage.
Yeah, Smear really needed the medic frag there to make that bomb count, but he just couldn't get enough damage onto Seeds, and was actually cleaned up by Mon, which means that it's, I mean, Swift is just bullying their way in here with really no advantage to go off, but they're making so much space on the left side. Frags are traded. Lucas got 6 all over the point if they want to actually play it, but they're just kind of posturing here. Not really too much happening at the moment.
The minor advantage is that Ombrak does have a little bit of a percentage advantage because they were taking more damage, but it does look like that. Ooh, hello, a lot of exit frags as the gamers from Swift do trying to scuttle their way through the right side, and this might be a relatively easy push onto second, but I imagine we might see Swift actually try and contest this a bit. It does look like they're trying to congregate around the cheese. Pappy does get taken out. Gink goes for a bomb on the heart, but he does get taken out by Smear and Koff, excuse me. Seeds is actually fourth on the flank as it was Rising that does goes for a bomb on him, so they do get the Uber pop off, and it's going to be one of those scout exchanges maybe. Lucas. Ooh.
Really nice pipe from Lucas
onto
the Koff there. But it's a full ad. They can just go into them right here if they just use. And Smear will get a nice frag on Scruff. And actually, Ombrak doesn't even pop the Uber off. They're going to get the frags without having to pop because Siege just runs away. And it was just like, Siege was just, again, just pretty much left alone because he didn't have a scout with him for quite a while. And I mean, the Ixie got so much damage and Rising as well, they had to force. Now it's a huge advantage for Ombrak going into mid, although Koff will go down to a nice pipe.
Yeah, with some spam pipes, able to take out Koff. Ixie as well is taking out Gink as well, so it's going to be a player down a piece. And it looks like some gamers on the Swift side actually want to try and contest us a bit. Pappy kind of caught short on the right side alone there. Scruff does go aggressive, so he's actually able to take out Rising, and Smear hitting him with a fat sticky to the face, and it's going to be Lucas is going to be pretty much alone on the point now. He's completely overextended. It's now going to be Polygon that does finally go in. So it's like he had eyes for the medic, but Mr. Epic does block his rocket, so he's going to save him. But Lucas gets taken down as well. So a push out from last again. Are we going to be seeing the last hold trades? Possibly.
It's possible, and we do see Scruff in forward spawn. He's been known to make some crazy plays from this forwards, but actually Feint are going to walk in from left side. They have given Swift so much time to get that Uber actually, so they're going to be coming in from Saw, but it's pretty much even. It's kind of, if Scruff can actually make a play here, he's going to, Koff has actually put him out, so that's pretty well played. Actually, Feint are going to take so much space with Scruff not up to actually do anything. They should be able to take this second pretty easily. The Uber's been forced really, really early on Seeds, and actually Ombrak is just going to walk all the way out, not even getting forced. This is pretty much the whole game so far. They're forcing Seeds, and Ombrak is just never ever popping. They're just taking points for free.
It does seem like Seeds isn't as comfortable as he doesn't have Koff with him. I guess maybe, new team, new gamers, it's a new year, all sorts of things can sort of unsettle your team a bit. There's going to be a fat ad from Feint Gaming as they're going to be going in from low, and they do pop the Uber kind of early. There isn't any point presence on it either, and Smear's now starting to focus it. I think he wants one of his gamers to get on it. Scruff is brought down low. Scruff is brought down low as the Pootis. He does take out Smear. Rising and Koff also fall down. Polygon does get Siege though on the exchange as well, so if they can keep Ombrak alive, this might not be as disastrous as it could be. There's going to be Mr. Epic chasing along with Pappy as well, and they're both going to just bully the scout combo out from the side of Feint Gaming, as it's a 6v6 loss.
Failed it again, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there was really, really strange from Koff and Smear there. They basically got all the way in to point without having used or even been seen by anyone. And Koff wanted to go right side, even though there was no one there, and Smear went left, and the Uber got split, and Smear just died to the heavy, so it's like, just pretty poor coordination from them. But again, Seeds died at the end of Rising. Yeah, sorry.
There's a bit of a contrast with how Swift were pushing last, where they seem to prioritize point presence with at least one scout first. It doesn't look like Feint are doing that to me. It's going to be it's going to be Smear. He's going to be jumping on the left side, trying to get as many frags as possible. Pappy is brought down incredibly low. He's finally finished off. Gink on the right side, and it's the Pootis Pow Man from Scruff once again, who he just goes into spawn, swaps out Putis, and everybody on the side of Feint are just forced to leave.
And Ixie's actually in behind on Siege with a really nice sneaky force there.
Oh, hello. It's a 1v1 on last. Oh my god, he's won it. He's actually going to go last. There's nobody else on it. It's going to be Gink. He's going to jump. Oh, that was close. Gink on 63 HP and really well played by Ixie as well, winning that 1v1. Oh, big rocket from Rising. That might have been a wall shot, but we'll allow that. I'm sure Gemm would have missed that if I'm honest anyway, so it's not like anybody missed anything. So anyway, he's going to be going for the left side with Fake Gaming. Pappy's going to jump in. He isn't able to get on Brack. He was sitting quite far back on that occasion. It's going to be 2 gamers remaining. 2 gamers down on the side of Swift. There's going to be some point play by Smear. The Poot is power once again. Scruff incredibly low. Isn't able to get arrowed. And it does look like they have wrapped this all up in a nice little parcel as Feint take the lead 2-1.
That was an absolutely huge play by Ixie. Gets the force, doesn't die, 1v1 Scruff, and then almost kills Gink and draws Gink back all the way to the last. I mean, there was just a really, really easy fight for Feint on that second. And yeah, I mean, again, we see Seeds getting forced in a situation where he really should never be forced. I think really both Scruff and Mr. Epic are like really good DM scouts, but they play very loose, and Seeds is really feeling the problem with that. He doesn't have Koff protecting him all the time, and he's getting forced much more often than he used to on Feint.
As we go into mid number 4, as it's going to be Gink. It's going to looks like he beat a little bit of a jump there. He's not able to do anything. Both soldiers on the side of Swift are actually really far away, parked up on the floor. Rising once again in kitchen, and it's going to be Polygon. He's going to go aggressive in the top right. He is bullied down. He was for kind of half HP. Scruff chases that frag. Pack is going to go in as well. Does collect Smear, and it's going to be Rising. Well, if I'm honest, I'm not impressed when he goes kitchen because he literally doesn't do anything. He went kitchen, I think, the first mid, and it was pretty bad. And he did it again, and he literally has no effect. There isn't as much coordination, I feel, when he goes kitchen, but never mind.
I mean, it really looks like Feint's mid is just kind of waiting for anyone on Swift to feed and then trying to play position. But if no one on Swift does that, then Swift just kind of win the fight by being a bit more aggressive and getting a lot more done with their soldiers. So yeah, it's just kind of a very contrasting style between the two mids here.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So it's going to be, well, as it stands, it's 2-1 to Feint Gaming with 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And it's going to be even Ubers. Koff has gone sniper. Where is he heading? Well, he's just going to be sitting on the left side. Are we thinking there's going to be some sack plays? Oh, having said that, it does look like there's going to be some sack plays as Gink does go in for the left side. However, it's a bit of a... Ooh, that's a sack play. You know, that's a frag. You got your pick. They could start making their way in, but against a sniper... That's not good, sir. And anyway, they still sort of... They're committing to this. They are committing to this. They've sent all their gamers on the left side apart from their medic, and they are dropping like flies. This is a bit of a large amount of discoordination here, as actually they're making the most out of it. Mr. Epic does get a frag onto Rising, and finally both of the remaining scouts do die. And I can't help but feel, you were saying earlier about how both scouts playing a lot looser. I'm pretty sure that Koff would be with Seeds right now.
Yeah, definitely.
He definitely would have gone in that deep.
It was just odd to see Swift there trying to take that much space, but not having a sniper, and it just meant Koff just took 3 shots at them for ages. Zubazar traded here with Feint trying to make a bit of a push out, but they are going to pretty sensibly head back. Barry's actually onto Smear on the left side, but he won't get him Smear with a nice surf out. So it's basically just a reset. With actually Swift look like they're going to try and bust through right side here. Feint just need to play a bit passive because they haven't got the ability to hold them at the choke.
Polygon is behind as well, so as they have got one less player on last Polygon now. However, does make his way back into the fight, but he was on the last point quite a while, he was behind for quite a bit, which I imagine is what cued the instant last push from Swift, so it's very well observed from them to tie it up at 2-2. Your prediction at the moment is currently safe, as we just need, oh, I say you just need 2 more rounds from Feint, and then that's it. You're the new prophet of TF2. You can put that in your Twitter bio. So, ooh, Lucas is actually kind of weak and just standing there waiting for an arrow. Does finally get one, so he's on about 50 HP. So, bit low, not the best, but Polygon's going to be going for the Banny Bomb. He's just going to be faking it, so both solids are going to be on the top left. And I mean, I think this is just sort of like maybe one of those routines that you see happen quite a bit. Ooh, Polygon again doing a lot of work on his mid. Does get 2 crisp rockets onto Scruff, and it's going to be Ryzen that also goes in as well. He does take trade with Pappy. He does trade for his life in Polygon to keep him going aggressive, getting some more frags, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of Swift. And I think, again, same thing. As soon as... well, actually, this seems to be a better mid from Feint. They weren't really sort of waiting for the feed. They were being a bit more proactive.
I mean, both teams have kind of they've wised up to what the other team's mid strategy is. I think Swift have realized that basically all Feint are trying to do is play slow and try and get a pick, and they're essentially both doing that. They're both doing pretty much the exact same mid, with soldiers just bombing around and trying to find anyone that's isolated. It's just that in this situation, Polly hit some nice rockets onto Scruff, and that meant that Feint basically executed their mid better than Swift did in that situation.
Yeah, so this is, we've got, is this a confirmed SPI? It is, so it's going to be rising, it's going to be sitting under the point. So excited for this, but the spy's been called from Mr. Epic, they know. It's ready to. I can't believe this. Oh my god.
Wow.
Lucas, someone.
Did he bump him?
No, request a demo. Request a demo, he's just hacking. He is. That is 100%. See, Rising even put classic hacking scum. That's what he really said in chat.
Oh, that's
copy
brutal,
and paste
brutal
that,
shit
put it
talk
as a
from
bind.
Rising there, actually.
That could be a bind. I expect to see that in Pug soon. So it's going to be Mr. Epic. It's going to be making his way forward through lobby, as it's now his turn to snipe, and it's going to be Koff. He's also gone sniper. Oh, Mr.
Wow.
Epic! Oh my goodness, that was from the toxic barrels in the lobby. Just getting a nice, beautiful pick onto Ombrak, who was just sitting on the point. That was.
But
That was spicy.
Ixie's hiding under here, and it may not be checked. Mr. Epic is not going to go lower. Riot Gang is actually on last, but he will have to win a 1v1 with Ixie if Ixie decides to go for this. And Gink, yeah, he still hasn't left last, so it's now
he's going
time
for it.
It's Ixie's time, but okay, he's just going to leave.
Wow, what a bitch! I mean, there was another soldier spawning as well, but you know, what a bitch, man! You've got to fight those. You've got to take those 2 demons. Oh, Seeds does go down, so it's going to be Ixie that does sort of. Make
Gink's
up
onto
for
Ombrak,
his
though.
moment
Huge
of.
damage from Gink. Oh, a huge airshot from Gink onto Ombrak.
Oh my god, he
with the
gets
sniper
another one as well. Oh my goodness, this man is a tank. It's going to be Smeared with 1 versus 2.
I've seen him
What
win these.
can he?
Oh! Wow, okay.
Isn't able to get it up. No, that was a crisp first pipe, but Gink, he is the man of the moment, getting 3 frags, a beautiful air shot onto Ombrak and taking out the sniper as well. Here's a part of the cleanup group, and it's going to be pretty even Stevens from that fight. Nothing's really changed so much. I mean, Swift do get their second point, but Feint, I think, are on a bit more of a. Well, they have the midpoint. They do have a bit of an uber disad, so it's going to be about 25%. I'm not sure if Swift are going to be wise to it and act on it.
Yeah, I mean, we see the problem in that fight, just going back to that, was Ixie was behind, right, making the crazy play that killed Seeds. Really well done by him. But at the same time, Koff was on sniper, so there's essentially no pocket scout for Ombrak at all. And that meant that Gink could just get in and get the cleanest bomb you could ever ask for, get a nice air shot onto Ombrak and killing the sniper. Whereas otherwise, Koff would have just got a free cleanup on Gink and would have been pretty much fine for Feint as
It's like Swift are going for it. They're going to go for the use their minor advantage. However, that minor advantage has been taken away. They have traded a player a piece. So I guess in some ways that soldier missing on both sides. Mr. Epic going to make his way into the enemy kitchen. Does run out straight away as he can't handle the heat. Scruff is a little bit low. Rising does bomb him, but it's not able to do significant damage onto Seeds. If in fact any player, there's a few beef rockets there. And it looks like Swift are going to want to keep on pressuring forward with that soldier advantage. As it looks like Scruff is making his way to choke. Who is the pocket scout, honestly?
I'm not actually sure. I think it's probably Scruff, but they both play so loose that you can't really tell.
Yeah. Polygon is going to be sitting on the fence now, sitting on the heart. They're going to be denying a lot of room, a lot of space, and that's going to be the down. Oh, Pappy jumps in onto the point, pops Ombrak in the air, connects with the second rocket as well, and it's going to be Swift that are going to be hightailing it out.
I really don't understand that drop from Ombrak. There was no way Pappy would ever miss that rocket. Ombrak was up against the wall and it was about 2 meters away from Pappy, so it's just a really crazy drop there. Should have just forced within a lot less bad than it is now, but yeah, that actually really sets it up for Swift to come into the second and potentially even win this round.
I think it's because he closed his eyes, you know. I think it's one of those, you know, I'm just going to accept whatever God gives to me.
If you can't see them, they can't hurt you,
Exactly.
that kind of thing.
It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They can't see if you don't move. It's just, I'll let my hands off the keyboard, we'll see what happens. Oh, I'm dead. Never mind. Polygon winning the... is Polygon a rover as well? Because it does seem like both of the Feint soldiers just play wherever they want. Anyway, Polygon's going to go for a big... Ooh, that was close, actually. A pretty sweet finish from Pappy, but Polygon sort of like jumping over around the pipe. The Uber's been forced though really, really early from Seed, so this is actually not going to be the best scenario. Mr. Epic does get taken down almost immediately, so going to be a player missing themselves, and yeah, they are scared. They are running away already. It seems to be the... continuing in this game where these last pushes are just not comfortable for either team.
Well, Swift hadn't even capped second there when they went for that. That means that it's going to be a pretty nice deep Uber from Smear onto Swift here. He doesn't actually, not able to catch anyone, and it looks like Swift want to come back in. Rising has lost a 1v1 to Gink on the flank, and this is actually so much opportunity for Swift to come in and play really aggressive. Smear's going to take so much damage from the Lucas, and this could be a last push for Feint if they have to play this for Swift. Sorry.
Mr. Epic is on the big flank. He's just moving through the left side, creating a lot of room for his team. His team's now going to be following up on him. Looks like they're going to be quite a significant point play. There's going to be 7 seconds of that there, man. Mr. Epic's going to start going for it. Polygon's going to try and buff him and move him out of this as much as they can, but there's just too many gamers. And that's what happens when you have more gamers than the other team. You do win and cap the points. So that may be a little bit too... I feel like Smear does this quite a bit, where he kind of overcommits with the Uber. Kind of feels like he can do a lot more than he actually can. And then just ends up getting caught out as he tries to...
Well, I think in a lot of these, straight up, like 5v5, 6v6 fights, Lucas has just been doing so much more damage than Smear in like their 1v1s across the point that it's just been so easy for Swift to just crush them basically and just go really aggressive off that damage. As we do see, this is a pretty crucial mid for Feint. What are they going to do? They're going to continue to play passive, it looks like.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a Saw Room play from Pappy to pick up the kit, so it's going to be good help. Polygon is sitting in the enemy's kitchen, does go onto it, trying to get onto Lucas. There wasn't any targets available, and Mr. Epic does clean him up as well. Pappy was able to kill Ombrak as well in the Saw Room, and he's in fact still alive. This man, he might be a Sherman tank. Oh my goodness. Somebody check inside and see if he's got a motor in there, or if he's got like a group of people. I've seen that film, The Fury, with Brad Pitt. There's like, what, a crew of 5 men? That's what's inside Pappy and operating him now. They're all covered in grease. Anyway, so it's going to be Swift who are going to be making their way onto second with this fat Uberad, but it is a 6v6 last push, so anything can happen.
We have seen Swift being a lot more effective at converting these last pushes. Instead of what I've seen Koff do quite a few times is trying to chase frags all the way into spawn with Smear going really deep on left side. Scruff has just been just playing point basically, and it works a lot better. They're going to come in right side, lock them out into spawn, and Scruff is instantly onto the point, making Smear come so far
nice
forward.
Flash from Seeds as well. It seems like stickies were detonated, so it doesn't take any damage. There's still an opportunity for point plays. Both scouts are still alive on the side of Swift, whether they are losing one. Ooh. Oh my god, that air shot, oh my goodness. Honestly, I think my butthole swallowed my chair. It was so tense. That was so close, but it's going to be a full cleanup. And I said anything can happen, and what I should have said is they're going to fail it.
Yeah. And this is, so there's 1 minute 15 left, and Feint have a full Uber run. They could take this last in theory. They need to be really quick about it. And I expect Swift are just going to give up this mid pretty much for free. They do have Ginkin forwards on Sniper though, so this could be a potential huge problem for Ombrak if he not aware of it. And Gink, yeah, he's not known to the enemy team at this point. Well, actually, yes, he is. He will swap up.
This is going to be 50 seconds remaining. There's going to be a full Uber advantage. So Feint are going to have to do what seems like the impossible with this game. They're going to have to push the last with 6 versus 6. Having said that, Mr. Epic goes, he does get a force.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a bit weak, I'm not sure, but Ombrak pops for that. There is just a level 1 sentry on the left side. Siege is going to be sitting on 90%. The sentry's taken down almost immediately. There's going to have to be a significant amount of point presence for this, but it's going to be the Scruff Putis. What can you do against the Putis power? There is no point play, but the Uber has been popped. Everybody on Feint's going to have to try and get out, but it does look like this does not look like it's going to go in their favour, as it's going to be Coffee is actually able to survive a bit. It's going to be Ixie on the flank, who's going to just try and go for the logs damage right now. Everybody, it's just 5 people on the point, and Ombrak doesn't care about his logs. He's not going to get any extra damage. So it is 3-2. First map on Snakewater going to the side of Swift. Your prediction is wrong. Get out of here. I need a better analyst.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that drop from Ombrak was just it just kind of really took the wind out of the sails of Feint.
Explain yourself to the chat.
I was saying that Lucas was doing a lot more damage than Smear, but apparently not, according to
exactly
the logs. Apparently, I just know nothing.
I do not know what to believe anymore.
And we see...
Again, I cannot work with this person ever again. Kermit never got a prediction wrong. He was flawless in every single prediction. He even had, chairman damage down to the finest individual digit. Mainly because he gave his predictions when the game was over. But anyway, do we have the logs on the screen? Do we have them on the screen? Because this is the part that we all love.
I have them on my screen.
I have them on my screen, and I'm not going to say Oh my goodness, everyone, take a look at those numbers. Glorious. This is the stuff that I live for. If we sort by the most important stat, which is damage, as you can see, already is. The real question is, how could they lose when Smear's doing 302 DPM? I tell you why, it's all the last pushes that they failed.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. They just didn't really seem to have a good hang of what they were doing. So many times they were left like 3 players on second capping, or like finally getting to last, and it would just be up to Smear and Koff to try and do something with their Uber pretty much alone, and they would just be lost. They might not even do the same thing, or they might just Uber really early and get very little, and there was just not really enough coordinated point play from the right side that is kind of the staple last push that you tend to do on Snakewater, and instead kind of people going for frags but just not coordinated at all, and Smear not able to have enough impact on those last pushes really.
Fun enough, Seeds is sitting on more deaths than the opposing medic, and not only that, but he has 8. Has he ever had a death count that high in an official? I have no idea, but still.
I would assume he has, but not only did he have a lot of deaths, he had a lot of times where he got forced, to be honest. Just happened a lot, particularly in the first 15 minutes of the match. But I feel like Swift, they were a little bit caught out by that what seemed to be Feint's game plan, to just play against Seeds in particular for the first maybe 15 minutes. But Swift kind of realised that and adjusted their play fairly well.
It also seems like they didn't maybe have to make that much of adjustments when the team you're being bullied by can't push last either.
Yeah, that's
true. I feel
true.
like that's a significant. I mean, how many last pushes were they possibly beef? Maybe 6, I want to say. At least. I mean, I think there was like, what, maybe 3 or 4 in the first half. So I'm going to say about 6 in total. But I mean, that's pretty sad. I mean, that's I guess that's one of the things with Snakewater, though. Snakewater is a very, very, very difficult map to push last on, just because of how easy it is for the opponents to just sort of recycle through spawn, come out the other side.
Honestly, I would disagree. I just think their approach to it was just really questionable. Like the standard right side push, where you start playing point quite early on, unless they have as the defenders get like somewhat lucky, this is very, very clinical. And if you have a decent enough advantage where they're not going to get Uber, you should be able to do it with a lot of consistency. I think they've converted a lot more of their last pushes. They failed one of them right at the end. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like someone on their flank lost a 1v1, so that was kind of contributed to that. But I disagree with Feint's approach to a lot of those pushes.
Well, why aren't you in their team then?
I don't know.
Oh, all right then. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess so. I mean, I just feel like when you are using your Uber to literally just take one side of the map and you haven't entered or touched the point yet, and not only that, but I feel like Smear does what I do quite a bit on Snakewater last, where you try and do too much as opposed to what Lucas does, which is doesn't seem to really sort of go aggressive or try and sort of chase them out. He kind of just sort of walks in with the Uber, focuses the point, and does a lot of damage on anything that's going to try and block it, whereas Smear seems to be trying to do a lot of work with a few pushes when he kind of jumps in almost immediately to try and get into their faces, which I feel... I mean, obviously there was that push where he just sort of, as I think you mentioned, where they were split in that Uber and he just gets gunned down by the Putis without really sort of receiving the end of it.
As a demo, you should be making it easy for yourself by, not even having to aim and just shooting at the point when your scout baits them onto the point. You shouldn't even have to crush everyone. You should have it set up so that everyone just walks into your damage. But Smear's just trying to make huge plays, and it's not really working at all.
I do the same thing where you kind of... I feel like, especially on Snakewater, you kind of fall into that trap where it's like you fail maybe 1 or 2 last pushes, and then you think, I know what to do. I can do this all. And then, you put the whole team on your shoulders as you go forward, you bomb in, you expect to take out everything, block the spawn, and your team just gets on the point, and that's it.
And your spine breaks from all the weight on you.
Yeah, and then you can't play anymore. But no, that's not what happens. He just kind of goes in a bit, but it went in a bit too deep. It wasn't Ubered and just gets melted by the heavy. But it's going to be Sunshine now. Now, I do have it down as a 5-1 Swift victory on this map, so this could be a full 6 points going Swift's way.
Yeah, I'd assume that they'd be doing slightly better on this map because in a lot of the straight up fights, the DME fights, particularly where Swift would repush from lower into second quite a few times, Swift just all went aggro at the same time and basically just out DM'd Feint pretty effectively. And I feel like there's a lot of the fights on Sunshine. It's a very fluid map, so you have a lot of just quite scrappy fights where it's just 5v5 or 4v4 or whatever. The team's just going right into each other, butting heads, and whoever does the most damage and plays their positioning correctly will win. And I'm assuming that with their probably better scout DM, probably better demo DM overall, that will favour Swift.
Interestingly, I think it was Feint. Feint only won 2 mids and Swift won 6.
Really?
Do you feel like that's actually going to be very, very important for Snakewater, as winning mids on Sunshine seems to be quite important, I feel.
There were, to be fair, a couple of mids where Feint essentially won. They kept the medic alive and backed out and then repushed it quite quickly, having killed Seeds, so that does skew it slightly.
This is core numbers. We don't want context.
But yeah, the mids are going to be very important, and what I really want to see is what the demos do early on, who they're going to spam their early stickies at, if they're going to hit their rollouts through choke, and because that can really have a huge impact on how much ground you can take. And if you can get basically over the point on this map, then you can just, and the enemy team is still stuck in their choke, then you basically win. As Smear will roll out right side, he's going to get some nice early stickies onto choke, probably.
Yep, Lucas is a little bit slow. He's going to go through flowers. He's going to be focusing on the left side as well. It's going to be Pappy and Gink going for an early bomb. It's just going to be taking the ground as Tetris seems to be demanded by Swift. And there's 2 gamers already weak on the side of Feint. It's going to be Polygon and Rising. Actually, both get taken out in the end of it. Scruff is very, very far forward, but I believe... Scruff with a nice sort of dodge for the pipe as well is able to clean up Smear, and that is going to be a very, very dominating mid-fight. I'm not quite sure what was happening from Feint, but there was 2 players that were just sort of congregated in lower. They both took the same rocket, and they both had to leave almost immediately.
Something I saw was a truly fantastic little strafe by Seeds. He got popped up by Polly who had a really nice bomb onto him, and the airshot was so close, but he just did this tiny little strafe at the last minute, which meant the Polygon, his whole mid was wasted, and after that one pick, Swift was just kind of able to snowball it, and they have taken this second here.
Yeah,
so...
Gink goes for a cheeky feed as he tries to sort of... Polygon. He gets absolutely mulched. You do not jump into 2 scout these days, my friend. That is bad news, Bears, and it's going to be even worse news as Swift do get the pop off onto Ombrak, and it's going to be Siege with a full Uber advantage on Sunshine last.
Yeah, that was a really nice force by Pappy. I don't really think Swift should go too quickly before their soldiers get there, because they have a really big advantage to work with, and Pappy is their main caller, so they're going to want to wait for him. But yeah, I'm expecting this Uber to just come in the right side.
Rising has actually made his way behind though. He's in dungeon, so I'm not quite sure if he's going to wait for any spawners or try and get any exit frags. He's gone into lobby. He's going to go onto Mr. Epic. Does get the frag on him. It's going to be fine. Time for his team, as Gink is not going to be featuring on this last point either, as he took a couple of rockets ball down low. It's going to be again Rising doing a lot of work on the left side. Siege gets caught out completely in no man's land, and he's also going to go full. So 6v6 last pushes again are...
Yeah.
Is it going to be the exact same scenario on this map? Who knows? It's
it could
just
be.
been 3 minutes.
They took a lot of space on the right side to begin with the Uber, but I think kind of pushed so far over to the left that Smear was able to come back out of spawn on his left, and then they could retake it, and there was basically no ground for Swift to work with.
Back up! Mr. Epic is going to be Mr. Epic versus Rising the last point, and Rising wins that 1v1, so fortunately saved his team's bacon. They do get second, they do have the Uber advantage as well. Siege is actually in a really difficult position. They do get the Uber off, but unfortunately for Swift, it is literally just a down man that was there for the initial fight, so Siege was going to be safe. They do have the Uber advantage on Swift now, with it just being 60%, so they're getting all their gamers spawning pretty soon. We should be seeing, imagine what they should be hoping for is a non-Uber push onto second.
It was interesting that, I mean, normally when you commit everyone for the point to try and block a back cap, you kind of feed all those players and this is a big gamble, but actually because Swift did that in such a coordinated manner, they actually got some really nice frags into second, which enabled them to force off the Uber.
Rising, going for the fake bomb. It's going to be Polygon that's going to be going for the real thing, and he doesn't actually get any significant damage onto Season. Rising does pay for his life as well. Looks like a coordinated soldier play not working out for them. Ombrak is on 90%, so they are going to get Uber on last, so it has bought them a bit of time. They do have a sentry on the left side, which looks like it's going to be made quick work by Lucas, as the tank is just going to roll through on the left. Oh, big bomb by both soldiers. They do actually get Lucas in this as well. He gets headshot by Ixie. Ixie again swapping to Scout and does get Gink as well, so a good force play. However, this will be interesting to see what they're going to go for. It might just be Seeds and Mr. Epic hightailing it out of there, as yeah, they are just going to sort of
it looked like Pappy and Seeds in two minds there. Pappy wanted to go aggressive with that Uber, I think, in the lobby, but Seeds just running all the way away and meant that Pappy just basically fed to trade with the Scout, where they could have taken that Uber in quite aggressively, but now Swift are going to be able to take the second pretty much for free. So it was a huge milk from Seeds. Actually, no, it's not. He was full HP, so Poly didn't even hit him. But it was nice.
If he hit his rockets, that would be a milk. I'll let you have that. You know, he did miss, to be fair. You were expecting him to be low. A seasoned gamer like us, we wouldn't have missed those. Anyway, Lucas is going to go in. Oh, that engineer got absolutely mulched. Oh my goodness. You can make a milkshake out of the remains of that. Oh, Rising with a couple of rockets onto Lucas as well. So, oh my, these last pushes.
I mean, once again, we just see Smear, he doesn't, like, Lucas is not looking anyone in spawn at all. And they're just walking back out. And that means you take ground with the Uber, but you immediately lose it once again. Once the buff players are just walking out of spawn pretty much for free, so they really need to hold on to this ground that they've taken with the Uber if they want to get anything out of the last push. And now Ombrak has a really nice advantage coming into a choke.
Yep, so it's going to be, again, I imagine, Feint hoping to try and get this mid for free. Gink is incredibly weak on top, so he's not going to be going aggressive anytime soon. Pappy catching this, like a beautiful rocket, literally on his toes. He might actually go down here. He's on 63 health. He does actually get out of this. Oh my goodness, he was so low. But mid's taken by Feint for free, and it's going to be Swift are going to get Uber in time to defend second, so they're not going to be too disheartened by this, as it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be any force attempts or anything like that going into this scenario.
Yeah, so one thing that potentially actually we might see if when Swift are on mid and Feint on their second, so you might see them doing a demo sack, because I've seen them do that in scrim sometimes. But they're just going to go for the polygon sack for now, and yeah, not too much happening from it.
Pappy's ping was creeping up a little bit, so I expect a pause. No, right, no, there's no pause. Oh, Ombrak, what is he doing? Oh my goodness, I don't know if he got sort of kind of like launched a bit forward by the spam, but he literally just sort of walks right into front of Cafe there and was sitting on 50 HP, literally in front of everybody. Pappy is on 8 HP, whereas he's just waiting for an arrow in second, so a bit of a tense moment there. Got some sweaty palms, and it looks like, ooh, Polygon got caught out by a sticky trap or a spam pipe. His aggression was thwarted almost. It's always Polygon that goes aggressive, and
yeah, it's interesting. I think it's, well, I mean, he is the pocket, but I feel like he just a lot more of the time is Rising's holding the flank quite passively. He'll just be the one that's buffed and ready to go, so he'll go for the play. Also, Poly does have some, he has some very nice directs. That's kind of his style.
And he also has some creative jumps I've seen as well. Not like amazingly creative, but he's got a good catalogue where you can open and go, I'm going to go in this way now.
He's got a portfolio of jumps.
Rising goes in. This is an air shot.
Seeds was so safe. 3 Romans wouldn't have killed him there. He was all the way in lobby, so nicely played by him to read that pretty well. As we do see the slow tug of war that is the trading of sacks on Sunshine. It's mid to second here, as Swift are trying to pressure really aggressively from Cafe, and Gink will get in from behind. He gets a nice rocket.
Oh my god, 7 HP on Ombrak.
That's actually a huge surf by Ombrak, because if he had not surfed onto the Tetris there, he would have gotten caught. But actually, Swift are going to use all that damage just to walk in, and Ombrak has had to get a pack, and they've just left completely. So it's so much damage from Swift. They just took that for free, even though the Ombrak had a really, really nice milk.
Oh my god, that was I was actually very Gink did so well to actually make something of that, because his initial jump looked very weak. He was literally facing off against the scout, and then somehow I think he got launched by that same scout who was shooting in the back. He just managed to get onto Ombrak, and it was so unfortunate. But yeah, as you said, a good surf onto for Ombrak to get onto Tetris and keep himself alive. They were able to take Swift were able to take mid for free, as I said, with all that damage, so they're now once again in the favoured position, a 6v6 last hold versus a sentry gun and a sniper. So it'd be interesting to see what on earth they can do. It seems to be on this map you're kind of funneled into doing only. Oh, Gink kind of wanted to just sort of hop in and was very, very lucky on getting himself out as well.
As we do see the teams, well, Feint getting pretty entrenched in here, and Swift just kind of waddling up and down, trying to poke in any entrance that they can. But I will expect probably maybe a double sack once they've got the sentry down. But at the moment they're just trying to poke and prod, seeing if they have any entrances they can peek to even get at the sentry. But yeah, not too much going on at the moment.
Critically, there is a teleporter going up from the side of Feint. There's just an entrance right now. Be interested to see where the exit is.
I do like that telly though, because since maybe a year and a half ago or more, you get the hit sound when you hit buildings, don't you? So it's possible that in a last push, Lucas will hit that and think that it's the sentry and continue to spam it and waste all his ammo, and then it would just be the teleporter down.
See, this is why you're here, for those next level, minuscule but detailed insights that I cannot provide. We'll see. We'll see if that's going to be used.
It could come into play. You never know.
Well, I mean, it's half health. They might be confused already.
Yeah, Lucas is giving me a good dose spam.
A bit of aggression. Ooh, and the air shot missed by Pappy onto a polygon. So went in from lower, which is quite good. I guess it's just trying to get a frag or anything that they could possibly get to make this last point a bit easier. Do you think they should maybe sort of sack someone and try and get Mr. Epic on the sniper or something?
I mean, there's really a lot of space in this top left area. Smear has it sickied off. Kind of, actually, they've moved the sentry to the left side now, so as I said that, it's going to be locked off pretty well. But pretty much whatever side the sentry is, the other side is a lot more vulnerable. So Smear, yeah, really locking down top left now, but Swift looking to actually prod in. They're getting a lot of space on their left side. Walking all the way in pretty much. Essentially will deny Mr. Epic though, and they're going to have to probably back out. The telly has gone down though, so that's
that is a signal to push if I've ever seen one. And Mr. Epic does finally die, so I imagine that we're going to see an off class for him, as I can't imagine any other reason why he'd run directly into a sentry.
No, probably not. And I mean, really, I feel like the sniper is probably the key to this last one at the moment, because there's been quite a lot of space just at the doors, which a default class can't really make any use of, because they're going to have to jump into the sentry to do anything. With the sniper, you can just have that one little peek and drop Umbrak, as we saw happen in the previous map.
I thought he was going Spee, but he is not, as Koff is already spy checking anyway and spawned for that. Love that mechanic. Why not take all the surprises out of anything that a team tries to do with just checking on the spy? Anyway, Mr. Epic has gone sniper, as I said, making his way into lobby. He's going to scope into the sky. Oh, is he? Oh, that's disgusting. Koff does get a headshot onto Lucas, so this might actually be a cue to push out. They are going to have to be pushing out against the sniper. Mr. Epic isn't exactly, he's pretty well renowned on his sniper, and that is the reason why he takes out Polygon as he peeked his head around the corner, as they look like they're going to try and get some space for Mr. Epic to work some possible magic.
I'm also seeing Gink on the buff. No, sorry, the battalion's back up right now. Pappy not seem to have the banner, so it's interesting that they have their roamer and not their pocket with the banner, but Gink is kind of a banner enthusiast, as Pappy actually takes so much space on this left side. He can't really bomb Umbrak because the sentry will kill him, and he does actually eventually go down. Kind of getting baited by his team. They had so much room, but no one wants to come in with him, so he's just going to kind of die on his own. But at least Gink didn't die, because Gink has maintained his banner and has got some spam by now.
It did give Mr. Epic a bit of room to snipe, but unfortunately not able to connect on anything that was trying to kill Pappy. They are able to take out Polygon, so they do have a player advantage now. Mr. Epic on the right side, just trying to ring out some shots, see if he can get anything decent. Polygon's going to be back up in just a couple of seconds, and that is again another Dareman pick for Koff. That's 2 in a row. So
yeah, Lucas not really
an opportunity to push out from Feint.
Not really paying the due mind of the sniper that he should be. Like, he should not really be able to get domed in these angles. Like, this should just be peeking the door quite conservatively. As Rising will get in onto Seeds, but Seeds just has a huge milk there. That rocket, if it was a direct, it would have killed him. But he just says, yeah, Rising doesn't direct me. I think Rising goes for the sort of 70 damage splash. And Seeds knows that he will live.
Seeds is tugging on the udders of Gink there as he milks him for all his worth. And Mr. Epic, oh, that's a trumpet. A trumpet has been sounded, and it was actually Koff that was actually quite deep on the left side. I think he managed to actually get an angle onto Umbrak. And the banner, the battalions has been popped. Mr. Epic does take out Koff, so they do get the sniper advantage and the player advantage with the sentry going down as well.
Lucas is so deep as well.
Ubers have finally been, the Uber has finally been popped from Ombrak. Mr. Epic taking out the heavy as well, so that's the Poot is powered down. They have full Uber advantage on this last point. They're going to be using it on the left side. Smear has been taken down. It's just going to be one gamer is rising versus the world, and he's able to only get one frag, and that's going to be a 1-0 in around about 16 minutes. Sorry, not 16 minutes, 14 minutes give or take for Swift.
Yeah, so the 5-1 is looking unlikely, but Swift have gone into the lead here. And it was just really nice. I mean, there was no way that Koff could have won the sniper 1v1 because he cannot headshot Mr. Epic at that point because he had the battalion's backup, right? And Mon does win it out in the end, which meant they just had the pick, and then Gink hit a nice air shot onto Rising, and there was 2 picks immediately, and it was just a really free push for them, as we do see this second mid.
Yeah, so it's going to be Pappy that's going to be going once again on the left side. I think Gink might have beefed his wall jump a bit as he's making his way into the cafe of Feint. Feint are going to be congregating all pretty much on the left side. Gink is going to go for a fat play. He's going all the way behind. I don't know if anybody's seen this. No, they haven't. And Ombrak is completely unaware with 2 rockets just on him. Takes him out almost immediately. That does save the mid fight because whilst that was going on, it's an even split on all classes. Oh.
Wow.
These kids MGE, the amount of damage that they took, I mean
Scuff and Mr. Epic is still pretty much the same HP they were when they started that fight.
I mean, yeah, they literally lost about 10, 20 HP between them on that.
If there's any more clear representation of what I've been telling you throughout, which is that the scouts on Swift are better. Or
Yeah.
a better DM at least.
If that was the biggest one-sided victory in a dick measuring contest that I've ever seen. Even more than me and my uncle.
It did look like Swift had really had the worst of that mid to begin with, though. Like they all just grouped up on left side in like a tiny little space, and Lucas goes down to some spam from Smear. It looked like the soldier bombs from Feint were going to crush them, but somehow they didn't really get too much done. And with the scrappy fight, the scouts just kind of hit their shots and won it out in the end, even though they had a lot worse positioning.
Yeah, we've got the gimmicks. We've got Gink, who's got a banner. We've got Pappy, who's got a banner. So it's got the clunch in the battalions. So this is happening. It's been a while since I've seen some good old tasty gimmicks, and now I'm going to be getting my fill.
So they had success from that last push with 1 banner, and now they're opting for 2. So this is, given that the last stalemate we saw was, it went about 5 minutes before anything happened. It's probably a pretty good move by Swift because they're really not going to lose too much if by just doing something in this stalemate.
I mean, they stack as well with the different banners. So can you just imagine, like, you go in completely nullifying all damage and also going in at the speed of light.
Yeah. It's gonna be
can't wait.
Can be up to Smear to really lock off wherever they do decide to push from.
I am gonna big up this scenario so much in a bet.
Oh my god!
Was that just a spam pipe as well? I think it was. I think it was just Koff and Rising that were just kind of bunched up. Oh dear.
He just let 2 plays through the trap and didn't somehow kill either of them. I have no idea how that happened. He just wasn't watching his trap. But that could have been a huge
they're standing and fighting. Though Smear drops down from the point, does get taken out by Pappy as well, and the Uber's being popped from Feint. Oh my days! This is a bit of a calamity. The Uber has been popped from Swift as well. However, they probably have the banners to take them into last, whereas Feint have nothing apart from an engineer.
That was really a missed trick from Smear right there. He should have been locking down that flowers, but he just let the entirety of the combo walk in through his trap when he could have killed probably Pappy and Lucas with that sticky trap. But he just dead a little bit late, and it did about 80 damage to both of them. As Rising actually been going really deep and kill Pappy and Lucas is a huge play from him.
Yeah,
and
that's
that actually cue the push from them.
That's a crunch down as well. I'm not quite sure what percentage Gink is on for his battalions, but at least he's got his defensive banner still up and not the move speed one, although I like the move speed one. I think it's pretty cool, but it's a pretty decent hold from Feint as well. So they're able to make the most out of that. It still sits at 1-0. There is 12 minutes and 20 seconds remaining as it... Ooh, big bomb! But oh my goodness, he actually managed to survive as well. Polygon, no, it does actually. That's a shame. That was a big bomb, but it doesn't connect onto Seeds, which is unfortunate.
He's had a lot of these really deep bombs onto Seeds this game, but he's just not hitting the initial direct. Seeds just giving him enough of the wiggle that it's working out really well for him.
Oh, again, these pipes from Lucas are just so exact with the, and they're not even anything special. They're just literally spam pipes. Ombrak literally just jumped straight onto it and is brought down incredibly low, and they're in a really bad position right now. Smear very, very low. Mr. Epic on the flank seems to be doing a lot of work as well, where he comes back up with his team. The banner, I believe, has been popped. I'm not quite sure if that was oh, hello. It's another banner in return. Which one's this one? He's holding the conch.
It's
so
both
the
banners. It's
battalions
both banners. And they both been popped out, and they're going to go really aggressive with this. Oh my god, it's absolutely crushing.
This is disgusting. This is filth. Honestly, if this was on Pornhub, they'd take it down, because this is just brutal. This is not legal.
Wow. So we saw earlier on, Pappy maybe got caught out in lobby, probably because he was weaker because he had the banner, but that was, you know, that's the downside. But the upside is you put them both at the same time, and it's a scrappy 6v6 fight, but then they just completely crushed them, getting kill after kill and taking so little damage and regenerating their health that there was just really nothing Fane could have done.
I love the conch. I think it's. I hope I see more of it, because I think it's a really, really good banner. That speed boost and the lifesteal is just perfect. Anyway, this is going to be mid number 3. Fane are going to have to sort of throw out the kitchen sink and all of the strats that they possibly maybe have. As Rising tries to go for a jump onto the bell tower, but unfortunately does whiff it a bit. And he does continue with it, so he does jump into them with about 50 HP. Polygon also brought down incredibly low, and it's going to be Gink, who's going to be tanking forward, getting a lot of damage onto the enemy gamers. There's going to be Ixie, brought down low. Scruff cleans him up as well. Ombrak and Smear are just going to be sitting in their cafe, and it looks like Polygon was just going to go for anything. The only thing that they claim is 2 salt. Hello, what's this? Are they going in?
Oh no, this is a terrible decision from Smear. He's trying to big dick it, but Caesar's just going to walk.
No,
oh,
yeah, he tried to. Yeah, they were
okay.
in the wrong area. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say they wanted to big dick it, but it's got a chode. But unfortunately, they were in the wrong area of the map.
Well,
but
I use free cam, and I just, you know, I
so yeah,
really
so
have
do
no
I,
idea.
to be honest. To be honest, the way that they walked out, the way they were walking out of the mid made me feel like, oh, they're walking back to their last. They seemed to be, or felt very safe, but I guess it was just because they wanted to get the Uber.
Yeah, so that's I mean, they're really getting caught out by their positioning in that mid. They committed over on, I suppose, the right. I don't know. They committed over left side Fane. They all grouped up there, and then they just kind of lost it, and they were caught in. So that's kind of unfortunate. And 30% advantage from the Swift, but they're going to be just walking right side. Pappy's going to go down though to a nice bomb pipe from Smear. But Mr. Epic has walked in and killed Smear, and there's so much damage.
No respect. There is. Oh my goodness, that was again large phallus making itself known. That was brutal. Rising gets completely cleaned up at the start of that push, and Mr. Epic he has no respect for these nerds. He just goes in, takes out Smear, 2-shot, and everybody else just collapses on him.
I mean, Smear's trying to play close, and he's chose to deny them, but he's just not getting there early enough, healthy enough, that even though Pappy, wasn't able to kill Pappy, Mr. Epic just runs in and kills the demo, and once he's down, there's just so much space for Swift to work with, and he'll just collapse in and absolutely crush Fane.
Yeah, so we're going to be going on mid number 4. Both soldiers on the side of Swift are just making their moves, and it's going to be Lucas going to get the first frag onto Koff. Seeds and Scruff are kind of be hanging around in their choke, and it looks like Ixie tried to go for a 1v1, but he can't really do that against a buff scout. And it's just going to be, once again, Smear and Ombrak left. Oh, Ombrak 5 HP. He's probably going to die. And it looks like
surely he's going to die.
Scruff is going to chase him. He's going to go for it, and he does finish the frag. Very, very well worked by Scruffy. Completely ignores Smear, but he does come back to clean him up.
So once again, we have only Smear and Ombrak alive after the mid for Fane. And like we saw Ixie and I think maybe Rising a Polygon on the right side of mid from Swift's perspective, just getting 1v, or sort of 2v4'd, just completely alone with no heals at all to speak of. And it's just really easy for Swift to pick off those players who were so isolated. And then now they're going to be taking the Uber into last with solid advantage coming in right side.
Yeah, there's going to be Koff on the right side. He's gone sniper. He is actually not going back into spawn just yet. They do have a Pyro. They're the best class in the game. However, Polygon is up there. He can't do anything, and it's just going to be a collapse on the point from Swift, and that is a 4-0. This is looking disgusting.
I mean, I lamented Lucas not locking them off into right spawn in previous last pushes, but this time it kind of worked out in his favour, sort of by accident, because he went so deep on the left side that the Heavy and Demo peeked out of their left spawn, but then he just walked back and killed them because they thought that he was not going to look at them, but then he did. So it worked out pretty well for him.
Oh, hello, Polygon. Go for something different, and different doesn't necessarily work out in this case, as he goes for a pretty
ballsy
audacious, yeah, ballsy. I don't know what the
flamboyant.
Yeah. I mean, it was expecting a lot from yourself when you go into choke versus 5. I mean, this isn't a pug, but anyway, Scruff is caught in. Might actually go down, does get collected, so it's going to be 38 HP on the side of Lucas. There is no, actually, no, wait, sorry, there is a medic, it sees. He just wasn't healing anyone. He has hightailed his way out of there. He's on his own second right now. Mr. Epic looks like he's going to try and connect up with them.
Seeds with a really nice read there to get so far back, but really Swift just getting cocky there. You know, they're winning 4-0. They've been kind of crushing a lot of these mids. They got that one pick and just wanted to keep going, and they got absolutely destroyed in that choke and minced. So yeah, Feint able to capitalize on that mistake and take mid and second now.
Yeah, so this is going to have to be a very. This is the time for Feint to sort of really start being a lot more pressuring. They do get the Uber off onto Seeds as well, but they aren't able to collect anything with the initial Uber apart from the Sentry Gun. And ooh, Smear does actually get out of there. Thought he was going to get completely crushed, and they're going to be just bursting in through the left side now. It's going to be Mr. Epic, going to be completely on his own. Does get caught out. It's going to be Gink as well and Pappy on the catwalk. Both of them teaming up together to take out Rising. Pappy's still alive as well, so Gink does pay for his life, but they do have once again. It's the Scruff, Pootis Pal, who's not being focused either. Lucas, he does the edge bug. I think it's no, the wall bug. Sorry, he did the wall bug. That's a ban.
Yeah, it was just a Mon getting completely caught out on his own there. No one else was really with him on left side, so he just gets spammed down and killed by a scout in the end. And eventually that one pick just meant that Feint were able to just kind of bust through and take so much space that they won the last push.
So the good news is your 5-1 prediction could happen. The bad news is that Feint would lose this game, and they'll lose all the points that they can get from this fixture. So they have 5 minutes to turn it around completely. Is Polygon going to go for the immediate bomb? No. So both soldiers on the side of Swift are going to be taken over the right side to the enemy cafe. Rising does bomb onto Pappy, not doing enough damage, but Ombrak is going to be left completely alone. He's going to be trying to juke Pappy. Can't juke this kid. Wow. It does take him out, so Ombrak does actually die. Seeds is all the way in his lobby on last. My goodness, he is so far back. He might as well. Some say he's actually on Snake Water right now. He's so far behind. But
yeah, I'm not even sure he went to mid. He just kind of got the choke and was like, "All right, see you guys," and then he's in spawn.
I'm out. Lucas does follow him as well, so there's going to be a small opportunity for Feint to try and get as aggressive as they possibly can. And it does look like they're trying to do that on catwalk. So Lucas does get taken out, and the pop does come from Seeds again. Something that's not regular for him, that he does actually drop a key individual already. They do get 2 frags, so it's going to be 2 gamers down on the side of Feint. However, they are missing the Dare Man on the side of Swift, so there is a perfect opportunity to maybe get some damage done. However, whilst that is going on, and it's going to be, oh dear, Mr. Epic just goes forward, and Scruff as well. They do take out
oh my god, the
4
scouts.
players between them.
I mean, Mr. Epic, he got in from Flowers, just knew there was space because pretty much every player on Feint was trying to lock out the choke because they were 4v5. There was basically freedom for him to go in, and then everyone pretty much looked at Mon, and that meant the Scruff came in, and then everyone looked at Scruff, and that meant that Mon didn't die somehow. And so really, again, we just see the DM strength of these scouts really coming to the fore in Sunshine.
I'd like to correct myself. It wasn't 4 gamers that the Mr. Epic and Scruff took out. It was 6. They took out the entirety of Feint Gaming with just those 2. That is absolutely sickening. Seeds with a 94 score lead, going for the score line that he expects from himself. They do have Uber, however they are in the enemy's flowers, and they are going to pop out into this. Ombrak is going to be, oh, is he going to be focused? He is. However, he's doing a lot of good work to try and keep himself alive, but there's just too much power on the side of Swift for them to really try and thwart here. They are just going to get cleaned up. It's just going to be Koff and Ixie left alive. Koff is sitting in cafe. Ixie is also in the enemy cafe.
This is really smart by, oh, okay, then might. Yeah, so Gink is hiding on mid, and he's actually completely destroyed Ixie. That was so smart by Gink. He knew that Ixie was behind, gonna go for a play, and just hid in that bell tower. And yeah, gonna just have a really clean 1v1 there.
And he got read like a book. That was, I caught the tail end of that, and that was a nice last rocket as well. So a direct hit coming out from Polygon. Is this man even taking it seriously anymore? This is not good. Anyway, so Gink and Pappy, again, these soldiers, they're doing a lot of really good work, and I really like some of the plays that are coming out on Swift, as they pretty much just jump around the corner, take out Smear almost immediately, and it's just 2 gamers left alive on last to try and, well, it's just Ombrak. And then that's it. It's GG. The GG has been called. However, your prediction will be wrong because they're going to get another round out of this.
It's possible. We're going to need to see a really nice mid from Feint here if my prediction is going to be maintained. But I think, and you can tell from maybe 10 minutes ago when Polly went in on that mid, he's desperate. desperate to try and make something happen for his team because all his players have not been working out, and really Feint just after that they've just kind of given up, haven't they?
Yeah, and we're going on to the final mid, but I'm going to call it as I am qualified to do so. It is garbage time as Mr. Epic goes sniper for this mid. Oh dear, this is just rubbing salt in the wound, and oh god, Mr. Epic, please. That's just not fair. They're already dead. You can't do this to them. And they're not even capping mid, so your 5-1 prediction might actually be correct. I don't know where they are starting to cap it now.
We've got a minute left to get this round. Will I be right? I mean, I could say, you know, that pre-garbage time it was 5-1, so...
That's not, it's
either
the
way.
final scoreline, you know, so we can't... I wanted the exact scoreline and gave me what you thought the exact scoreline was, which was going to be 5-1.
Yeah,
I don't make the rules.
Feint, they're making a good go of it. Polygon has hit a very lovely direct. Actually, look, they're doing it. Huge pyro play, and Swift just in too much chaos here to hold last.
They're befuddled. Their flesh is burning. Scruff, however, wins the 1v1 versus Ixie. Smear trying to do his lots of good damage coming out as we enter in the final time. This is it. This is over. But
it is
yeah,
over.
so it's 5-1.
We've got 20 seconds for Swift to take this last.
It could have been 6-1 if I'm honest, but Swift were throwing, so your 5-1 prediction is invalid.
I've never been more tense in a game that I've casted than at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't count. I've decided I made the rules now. They
All right.
Clearly they weren't taking it seriously.
Get in. I know they got the first map wrong, but
that's it.
I would take that.
Swift surprisingly take all the points here. Feint leave with absolutely bloody nothing.
They've passed out of this game.
A scoreline that I think I couldn't predict because I refused to. But you did.
Well, no, you did predict it because you piggybacked on my prediction. So well done.
That is true. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to just piggyback and reinforce your statements to make you and myself seem smarter. And looking at the best part of the game, the logs once again. Scruff with, I can only describe as a sickening KD with 32 kills, 8 deaths.
Goodness me, that is, that's quite the crushing play from Scruff. And Mr. Epic not doing too bad himself, even though he's on the flank going 26 for 13. They're more, really nice damage from Lucas and Pappy just in the combo. As we see, I mean, Smear did quite a lot, 300 DPM, but Polygon he's he's fairly down there, 250 only. And I mean, Lucas only needed to take 24% heals to do what he did, whereas Smear took 28. So the soldiers, particularly on Feint, really not having a fun time on that map at all.
Do you feel like it's because of Smear seeming to take all the Ubers? I kind of feel like I see him most of the time just starting most of the pushes, whereas it seems like with Swift it would be sort of Pappy and Gink who are sort of like going in first to create some room and then popping at the start. I kind of feel like...
yeah, I think so. Well, when you... excuse me. When you take that much heals, you got to really control the whole game and like always be having a positive impact on it. But if you're going to be taking so Smear's taken quite a lot of DPM, 312, which is actually more than he's done, which is never a good sign as demo. He's taking so much away from his team that he's not really giving them very much overall.
I mean, Polygon took 355 damage.
That's true, but Polygon was making space. He's playing soldier. He's allowed to do that.
I mean, I don't know. By his stats, it doesn't look like he was necessarily... I mean, the universe, there's a lot of space in that, but most of that's not being used,
That's true.
Doesn't seem to be a point of making this space if it ain't going to be filled.
Polygon...
Could be filled by my mum. Sorry,
interesting one. To be fair, I said he was making space. What he was doing a lot more of in a lot of the other situations when he wasn't making space was just kind of feeding for Seeds, and he was not. When we see Seeds on 3 deaths, Umbrak on 12, that's another huge stat. Seeds had his jukes on point really for that whole game. And did Umbrak drop this time? He did drop. I can't remember how he dropped, but Seeds with I think 0 drops across the series. Umbrak with 3, and Seeds was just he really had no difficulties in that first mid, I think, or maybe the second mid, I know, but where Polygon almost hit a great air shot to seize, but didn't. That kind of characterized the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like I can't really remember Ombrak's drop, to be fair. I can't remember it being anything spectacular. But yeah, I feel like Seas was in his comfort zone that he expects from his team. I mean, the hills don't really suggest he had like a proper pocket scout throughout most of it, because Scruff and Mr. Epic were just kind of doing their own thing. But yeah, I kind of feel like the scouts on the side of Swift were the difference makers. They seem to be winning all of the 1v1s by by a massive, an absolutely massive margin. And I mean, there was that 2v2 on mid where like literally none of them took, well, either of them took like maybe about 10 damage apiece. And that moment where both of them just killed the 6 players of Feint just by themselves, just them 2. They just kill 6. So
Yep.
Anyway,
we've got some boys in here.
We do. Lots of boys.
Actually, yeah, quite a lot. So joining us for interviews, we have Koff and Ombrak from Feint Gaming and Pappy from Swift. How are you doing, guys? Congratulations on the victory, Pappy, first of all. How are you all doing?
Very good.
Been worse.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with the victors. Pappy, is this what you were expecting? How are you feeling after that game?
Pretty bad. I'd say team morale is at an all-time low. So, gotta pick it up, but we'll try.
I actually called that you would win 5-1 on Sunshine, so...
Really? Wow.
It was expected by me.
I don't know why, I'm just bad at Snake. Well, actually, Snake Quarter was when the morale was at an all-time low. After Sunshine, we've now reinvigorated our spirit for TF2, and we won't fold. I promise.
Well, that's good to hear. So, Ombrak and Koff, how are your spirits?
A little bit low, but it will get better soon.
It'll get better soon, okay. There was a particular moment in that where it was a 2v2 after mid, certain 2v2, and Mr. Epic and Scruff survived both with about 100 HP. Was that kind of the end on Sunshine? Was that when you went head in your hands, game's over, what can we do?
Never go head in my hands like that. Especially in a scout situation, you know I can't kill scouts. But no, like, they both started that fight with more health than both Ixie and I, so it was always going to be a tough fight. And Scruff also had the game of his life, so...
It's not true. Did you see Scruff last season playing for Aura Electra? Same stats on Sunshine. Exactly the same.
Okay,
and actually, that was against... Oh no, that was against the other team.
That was against the same team. Yeah.
No, but without Kune. It's the same team.
I enable Scruff.
Yeah.
War, got any questions?
No.
Hi, War.
Thanks for coming, guys.
You're most welcome, good sir.
Unless you've got any questions for us.
How's the, did you watch the Major?
What?
Dota Major, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty good. There were some pretty sick games. There were lots of sick games,
EG
actually.
ones from lower bracket. One of them was
some
good.
some of the EG games are pretty good. Yeah, they're all pretty tense, pretty sweaty. It was actually pretty good. I was quite enjoying it, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Kind of disappointed there wasn't like a patch announcement or anything afterwards.
Yeah,
I thought that was
a bit annoyed.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying that it doesn't get reset for another month, which is also annoying. But anyway, so yeah, I don't really have any questions. Do you have any final thoughts, Pappy, about your team in the season? What do you think? How do you think you guys are going to do?
5th.
Oh, piss off!
We're aiming for 4th. Get 5th. We're lucky. I think that's my prediction. Doughy team and Yak team, they're making playoffs. I'm calling it right now.
Wait, who's in? I'll be honest, I haven't actually looked who's in Prem.
Yeehaw's team. He's the new Clockwork. I can't handle him.
You've
He's
got.
so good.
Can anyone?
He's so good.
I mean, there's a lot of teams that I can't imagine. Okay, yeah, maybe you guys are 5th.
Yeah.
All right, never mind then. Excuse me. Oh my, there's some really weak...
There's some really good teams.
I
There's some
was
good
gonna say,
teams.
yeah, there's some really...
You played against Yeehaw? This guy owns.
Yeah, but that's because they've only got like one way of playing. Like literally, their entire team is just like around. Like Clockwork didn't play with all these heals all the time, did he?
Yeehaw's a 0% heal taker.
If you take away like the medic, then Yeehaw's nothing. He's got nothing there. Like whereas
Yeehaw's a beast.
Clockwork was a roaming scout, like a
So is
proper
Yeehaw.
roaming scout. Yeah, but it was a proper one. He didn't piss about with a combo ever. Never saw him. I saw Yeehaw once. He was on 1 HP. Doesn't go back to Shade. No, he just goes, you know what? I've got it from here, buddy. Gets a 6-man. Trust
I've
me.
seen that too.
Anyway, Umbrakov, what are your expectations for the season?
I'm gonna do better.
Yeah, this is definitely feels like a slip up.
Well, it's good to have your slip up at the start of the season. You know, with that abysmal performance, you can only go up.
Yeah.
Unless you lose to
That's
Turret
not
Sucking
actually
Toes.
true.
Yeah, actually, you could go
It,
lower.
it can get worse and worse and worse.
It can do.
No,
trust
it's
me.
not gonna.
Just
It's
look
not
at my
gonna.
life.
Umbrak, when was the last time you beat me in an official?
Last season?
No? That was a 3-3.
I don't know. I'm trying to bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying to go for if I sound confident, he wouldn't question me.
Yeah, exactly.
I just pick my team so they counter Umbrak. That's all I
You
care
can't-
about.
Yeah, you can't go for that play against a toxic Brit. You know, we've done our subliminal research. If it's if we ever try and like shit talk a French person, we would have done all of our research beforehand.
That's got nothing to do with the French thing. It's just
Yeah.
Umbrak himself.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
My
listening, by
personal-
the way, so I don't know what you're saying.
That's fine. I've muted him. It's alright. He can't say anything else. I've muted him now, so he can't
I
hurt
really
you.
apologize for not being aware of your sayings.
That's alright. Anyway, so better. Where do you think you're going to fit at the end of the season?
I don't know. Like the aim is to be in playoffs, so I don't think the path matters that much as long as we're in the top 4. And then this is where things gonna go down for real. So, like,
Alright.
Yes.
it should
Whoa.
be. I'm pretty confident we'll be in top 4 because we're top 4 team, and
You just
would-
lost to the 5th place team.
yeah.
I thought I muted
Can
you.
someone mute the little troll here?
Hold on,
It's
let me
disturbing
let
my
me-
thoughts.
Hold on, let me. Look, alright, look. Umbrak
Course.
has the talking pillow now, Pappy, so you're going to get muted so Umbrak can have his
Yeah,
say.
suck it.
There you go, he can't respond.
I don't know. I
either.
think we've lost to like 2nd, 3rd seeds tonight. So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna pick up the pace easily. I'm not really worried. Our scrims have been good. This is, I think, the first time we're losing Sunshine or something. So I'm not really worried about how our things are gonna get up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Pappy losing some points on product or not product on Logjam.
Epic.
Yeah.
Bro.
Let me correct myself. I meant on Logjam, because Pappy has a
okay.
tiny brain and he can't really visualize things. So yeah, we'll ace Logjam while Pappy will struggle, and then things are gonna be even.
All right, and I want honesty. What were your expectations going in this game? Did you think you could clean sweep it, or were you expecting? You know, what were your expectations scoreline wise against Feint? Sorry, against Swift.
I thought all of us thought we would win, like we could win, and I think the actual skill difference between our two teams is more what happened on Snakewater rather than what happened on Sunshine.
Yeah. Coming into today, we'd beaten everyone on Sunshine. Like, we'd beaten 7%, so we were fairly confident. So, yeah.
Right, Pappy. Oh, this is your opportunity. You have the talking pillow now, so I'll let you respond.
To what?
I'm Pappy. I'm trolling people.
I mean, we're pretty bad at Snakewater. I was pretty surprised we won, if I'm honest.
Was that,
We've beat some last pitches.
Oh, all right, okay, Umbrak, come on. Pappy respected your moment to
I'm
speak,
answering
mainly because I muted
his
him.
attack on my person. I'm just talking back.
You had an attack on his person multiple times in
Yeah,
that
but
previous
it's
statement.
not my
but I
problem.
muted
It's a
him.
man that he doesn't want to answer
He's
back.
got the talking pillow. I've muted him now. He's got the talking pillow. Pappy, what were your expectations going into this game? What were you thinking was the scoreline going to be?
Well, who is this doing that? Yeah, no. In the beginning, I thought we'd win Snakewater, but then when the game actually started, we were getting rolled, so I thought we were gonna lose. And then Sunshine I knew we'd win, because we've played that map really well the last while. But yeah, I was surprised we won Snake after the first, 15 minutes. We, lost a round, tried to push out our last, dropped to a sync bomb or something, and then... Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Quick question for the Fame boys: was it a deliberate plan on Snake to just focus seeds and then hold S? Because that seemed to be all you did for the first 15 minutes. Was
No,
that your
that's
plan?
just how you play the game, Eemes.
That's how you play the game.
It worked out, and then we kind of got carried away, but it was not a plan. Plan was actually to focus Pappy, so Pappy tilts, and then we win, but it didn't work out.
This is actually true.
I'm unfocusable, I don't tilt either.
Yeah, because you kill yourself alone.
And by the same token, Pappy was Seeds how was Seeds' morale after that rough, let's say, first 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah, we were thinking that. Because he had died maybe about 5 times.
Yeah, 5 times in 5 minutes or something.
Yeah,
5
and
times in 6
dropped
minutes,
as well. And he dropped as well.
I mean, it's not really on seeds. Apparently the first mid, Mon said something like, I saw the soldier, but I just assumed he was going to die, so I ran forward. So, once we told Mon to look at the soldiers, the map actually went pretty good.
Alright. So there wasn't any sort of long exhales or anything coming out.
No, I always trusted Pierre would drop to me, and he proved it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omra, what was that drop? That made no
I
sense.
told you 4 times, man.
Well, I thought maybe would kill him in time. I think it's pretty rough to blame it on me. Sometimes you have to trust your teammates. It didn't happen this time, but next time I'm not going to use, and my teammates will kill him, and people would be, oh my god, he's holding that! And by the way, did you see my crazy hold on Sunshine?
When you served onto Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we saw that.
Nice.
So, give me some respect. I want to highlight I had better stat lines and seeds on the first map, so I'm getting better.
Yeah, but you lost the map, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
it's on my team, not on me.
I mean, you died on the crucial mids at the end to give us a win.
I was talking about how it was very, very even at 2-2, and then that drop happened, and then you kind of got crushed. Well, you lost the round, and then it was kind of over,
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say that one guy led to the whole demise of his teams. Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought your 4 failed last pushes was the demise of your team with Snakewater.
Oh yeah, there was one time you guys pushed last. I jumped into your lobby and 5
Yeah,
of them chased me.
first last push that we did. I don't know what happened. It's just
Polygon, Rising, Ixie, and Kunu all in lobby, and my team holds.
just fixing stuff around. It's okay. No big deal.
I think we've had enough
No,
arguments.
I feel like we've got a lot of. I feel like we've really got a lot of our chests. So I feel like we all feel lighter getting all this burden of angst off our chests.
We've melted the interview dry, I think.
Yeah, if Onrak eats a pooper, then it'll be fine.
I mean, I also didn't want to do any interviews anyway, and I feel like a more enlightened person after this chat. So
I dragged on back here and now I'm regretting it.
I'm gonna have to end this interview session here, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Any final shout outs from I'll go from top to bottom, Koff.
Shout out to my team. Shout out to Hobin for all the work he does. Yeah, that's it.
Eames.
Shout out to the good Frenchies, even though they lost today. And shout out to you guys for playing a good game. And shout out to production.
Gemm? Actually, no, never mind. Ombrak?
What was the question?
Any shout outs?
Shout out to you guys for making an enjoyable environment to come and getting interviewed. I really feel safe now. Shout out to Pappy for being such a lovely sparring partner. And shout outs to people who watch. I hope it was enjoyable, even though we lost. We'll win next time.
Pappy?
Shouts to Yellen, Sumail, and Cadis Watt. Got any Cadis subs in the chat? Give me a Cadis Watt.
Alright, so everyone, that was the very first game of ETF2L Season 32 between Feint and Swift. Don't forget to check out the VODs. Don't forget to follow anything Team Fortress 2 related on the old internet, like the Twitter and all that shit. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.